Yes. Yeah. I don't know. I worry about our adolescents more and more every day.
So is it that unconscious mind that's causing us emotions?
It's a combination of both. It's really damage. Um, Unconscious mind can create the false sense, and then the conscious mind creates the image. Um,
So I think when they're under the influence, I think part of their memory, their conscious, is working in their unconscious. Because I saw a guy the other day in the park, gangster. He pretty much told the whole history about USA, and he was under the influence. And he was talking about like the independence, the exact day, the people. And I told my girlfriend, man, this guy, he could be a teacher. I mean, he knew what he was talking about.
Usually, your addicts, when you ever sit and talk to them, some of them are brilliant individuals, and they're brilliant, but yet their reality is gone. So um, they can teach you things that you'll literally be like, "Oh my goodness, this is amazing," but their reality is all of a sudden, then they'll just snap, or they'll think they're actually a character in 1776. Um, you just don't know.
But that memory, they got it from, I mean, that type of personality, they got it from their memory.
Hmm.
So let's say the unconscious and the conscious is operating like 50.
Uh, I'm gonna give conscious 25. 25. 25, 75 is a good split.
If a user has been using, say, for 30 years or longer, and their body is so dependent on it now, is it really worth, I mean, it's worth it to go through rehab, but how long does it take you think to recover from that?
30-year usage,
They're gonna be
it's
done.
gonna be horrible. It's gonna be so much damage done. Cognitively, they'll never be at the place they should be. Um, but for them to probably just retain about 5 to 10 years. But 30 years is a long damage, and I will be more worried not just mind damage, internal damage. Kidney, liver, and lungs will be the biggest thing that would be affected. Sleep will be too. Yeah. Okay, learning chapter. People hate this chapter more than anything in the world, but you're going to get through it with flying colors. Okay? We don't need to, oh my God. Now, the learning chapter is divided into different types of way you learn. All right. The reason why it's probably the one that people don't like, it can cause a little bit of conflict in regards to understanding. But I've got faith that you guys are going to follow me and master it really well. Okay. Don't let me down. All right. Now, in regards to learning, we first look at it. There's different ways we look at learning, but you need to know learning literally means you have the potential to change or alter behavior. Learning means you have the potential to change or alter behavior. When I say potential, why do you think I say that potential in regards to learning? Why do you think I say potential?
You haven't got it. It's just the potential to get it.
Okay.
Your foot in the door.
Perfect example. I might, and that's a great thing. I've got the potential to learn. I might have learned something when I was 3, 5, or 7. I didn't use it yet. I've got my foot in the door. I know how it operates, but I didn't use it till I got 35 because that's when I needed it. That makes sense? I got it when I was 3. Let's use, for example, how many of you, when you growing up, left the lights on in the house? The room, left the room, lights was on. What happened when you did that? Got in trouble. What'd they tell you? Turn those lights. Why you gotta turn the lights off? Cost me money. You're now 20, living in your own place. How often you leave them lights on? You like, we don't even need lights. You know, the sun is out. You got the TV on, that's enough light for you right there. You knew and learned at the age of 5, but not till 20, till it benefited you, did you use it. Does that make sense? Eating vegetables, perfect example. As a child, you were taught, why should you eat vegetables? They're good for you. How do they taste? Not too good. You're now 25. You live your life on vegetables. Why are you eating vegetables? Because they're good for you. You probably still don't really like them. You've acquired the taste for them, but you're like, I'm going to eat these. You loved McDonald's at 6. How you feel about McDonald's now? Oh, it's carbs. Just too many carbs. Nobody should eat those things. You knew at 6 you shouldn't have probably ate it, but not till it benefits you did you use it. Does that make sense? All right, so that is learning. So we're going to break down how you did this ultimate thing. We're going to start off by classical conditioning. Ooh, stick with me. Classical conditioning was found by Pavlov. Okay? Pavlov was brilliant in what he did, but he wasn't looking to learn how people learn. He was actually doing digestive systems. And what he did was he actually had dogs hooked up to some machines to recognize their digestion. What he would do is that the student would bring down the food and feed the dogs. They would register to see how they were digesting and salivating for their food. But what Pavlov started realizing is when the dogs started to hear the bell that was on the cart bringing the food, they started to salivate then before they even saw the food. He then realized that, wow, people actually link one thing to something else and creates a response. Does that make sense? We link one thing to something else to create a response. Do you follow me? Who's still with me? Let's try this. Yeah, he did. Probably because he put some names on it. So, how many of you have ever been in love? Liked, love, interested, attracted. We're just going to use all the words you might have used because love might not be the word you use. You was just like, I strongly like them. Okay, you like them, love them, interested in them, fond of them. Okay, good. Did they have a song or a scent? I'm hoping they did. I hope they at least had a scent. I hope everybody had at least a spray of something. All right, so let's just imagine you're in love with somebody who wears apple spray. I don't know, I'm just thinking of something. Even if it's a man, he wear apple spray. He just likes smelling like apples. All right, so he's straight. He just likes smelling like apples. So he walked by you and he got this apple spray. You now say, my partner, apple spray. Do we all understand? You smell it, you know they're around. They walk through the room, you knew they're here. Do we all agree? Okay. Now, so my partner and apple spray have been linked together. Do we all agree? When I see my partner, how do they make me respond? Y'all having a good relationship? So you happy? Okay. It's a good relationship. So, apple spray, partner, I'm happy. Do we all agree? We all follow, right? Okay. I can then remove my partner, smell the spray, and get happy. Why does the spray make me happy? Because it makes me think of my partner. That's what classical conditioning is all about. Okay? Now, that was easy, right? I'm just going to put some labels on it. So here go the labels. Now, my partner. Did anybody tell me my partner should make me happy? It was just something that automatically happened, right? It was what we consider the unconditioned stimulus. It's just automatic. This automatic thing makes me respond. It's a stimulus that makes me respond. Are you following me still? Stay on my bandwagon. Don't get off my bus. We're going to roll all the way to our destination together. Do we all agree? Do we got this? We got it, right? I was stimulated. It created a response. It was unlearned. Nobody taught it to me. It's just automatic. Yes? How did my partner make me feel? Happy. That's my unconditioned response. Not learned. Nobody taught it. It's just my partner stimulated a response. Do we agree? We still on the bus? Did anybody get off? Okay, good. Now, what did I do with this partner? No, we didn't break up yet. I do with the partner? I associate it with what? Apples. So this becomes my conditioned stimulus. I now have taught myself that this means this. Y'all follow me still? You still on my bus? Anybody get off? Just raise your hands small. Tim, why you get off the bus? Where you get off at? No! Did you ever get on the bus? Okay, let's start back. Unconditioned stimulus is automatic. So what you want to know is when you see unconditioned, know it's automatic. Okay? It's automatically meaning it just happens. If I pinch you, ouch, it just happens. If I feed you, you salivate. It just happens. It's just automatic. That's unconditioned. Everybody got it? And stimulus, cause a response. I'm going to say cause and effect, but I don't mean it. This caused this. Tim's back on the bus with us. Good.
Okay,
All right.
so unconditioned stimulus causes a conditioned stimulus.
Uh-huh. One more time.
An unconditioned stimulus causes a condition. No. An unconditioned response.
Stimulate me, respond. Stimulate, respond. Yes? We all on the bus? Anybody standing up on the bus preparing to get off? Sit back down. Unconditioned stimulus, unconditioned response. I then link the two. We got that? We now have learned. Conditioned literally means learn. I've now learned that this means that. Yes? Okay. I condition myself that apple spray brings about what response? This is now my conditioned response. Yes? We good? Yeah? He was on a roll. The unconditioned stimulus is associated with a new stimulus that causes the same response. I'm not going to write that down because I don't want y'all to write that down. This is what I want you to write down. You're going to ask yourself these 4 questions to get these answers. Okay? Ooh, geez. Number 1, what is the original response? Number 1, what is the original response? What's number 1? All right. Number 2, what caused the original response? Number 2, what caused the original response? Don't go back to example. Sure. I'm going to give you a new example. Number 3, what did I replace the original cause with? What did I replace the original cause with? You still with me? And number 4, now how do I respond? Number 4, now how do I respond? Are we good? Okay. Now let's find out what these mean. What is the original response? Is my unconditioned response. What caused the original response is my unconditioned stimulus. What did I replace the original cause with is my conditioned stimulus. Now how do I respond is my conditioned response. The facial expressions are blowing me away because they show me that a lot of people are off the bus.
When I smell like black cherry tobacco.
All right, let's go here. Black cherry tobacco.
Yes. It reminds me of my grandma.
All right, granddaddy. All right. All right. We're good.
Yeah.
All right, now
So,
go.
He's, since he's passed away, every time I smell it, I'm happy when I smell it.
Perfect.
Say your-
All right, now label them.
Okay, so the original response would be the black cherry would be, the black cherry would be the UCS, the unconditioned stimulus, wouldn't it?
Thank you. Yes. Yes. I know he got back on the bus. Now, all the rest of y'all who watching us ride down the street. A few of y'all. I know y'all don't want to admit it.
I'm kinda like,
Okay. Who? I need y'all to get back in the car, back in the boat, bus, wherever we on, in the seatbelt. So we're gonna do an example, and you're gonna figure it out, because you can imagine what this test is gonna be like. Yes. And here's the really, really bad part. 16 of your questions on your final exam come from just this chapter. It is the most significant chapter in the book. Okay? Alrighty. So, classical conditioning, just from this chapter, which is why I'm really, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you examples. You're going to ask these 4 questions to yourself, and then you're going to tell me. Now, it's very important, very, very important. Go through these 4 to answer the question, even though it's multiple choice. Does that make sense? Some of you would just read the question and try to figure it out. Do not do that to yourself. Go through the 4, figure it out. So let's go to into the classroom. Extra junk folder, because I know it's such a horrible chapter for you and so stressful and blah, 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 blah. Some extra stuff here for you. So you want to go to every chapter, helping resource. Go to chapter 7, I believe it is. Yep. Go to multiple choice quiz, and let's try this. So let's do number 1. You're going to do number 1 on a piece of paper. You're going to figure it out. Ask yourself these 4 questions to figure out number 1's answer.
wouldn't it be chapter 2?
No, it's different in here.
Oh.
Just because it doesn't align. This is not your book's resource. I just found this and thought it would help you guys. You can't see it? You want me to blow it up? How about we just do this? So that people won't get all discombobulated. why we did this and the slowest computer in the school. Don't know. Seriously? There we go. Yeah. Are you kidding me? That's too much. So we're just gonna make it big enough for you to see. You just got to read it a little weird, but. Are we good? So let's walk through this slowly. What's the first question I'm gonna ask myself? Okay, so what's the original response? Cat comes to the kitchen. Sometimes. What caused the original response? The original response really means, what did it start off with? How did it originally start? It's unlearned. You feed a cat, they come to the kitchen. Feed a cat, come to the kitchen. Nobody taught this cat that. It just put some cat food out, they came to the kitchen. Does that make sense? It's the original response. Now, what's my third question? And what did I replace it with? There we go. Yes? Now, how do I respond to the electric can opener? I come to the kitchen. So, what is the conditioned stimulus? The electric can opener. Exactly.
But that can be ripped up because the cat did come to the smell of food, so that can be a conditioned response.
No, just because. Exactly. Perfect example. Instinct is not learned. That's a perfect thing. Yes. Let's use, for example, some other things you've probably been conditioned with. All of you were in school at one time with the bell. Yes? Okay. So what happened was, bell rang 12 o'clock. Bell rang 12 o'clock. Right? Okay. It's lunch. Bell ring 12 o'clock, lunch. Bell ring 12 o'clock, lunch. We all agree. Now, lunch makes you do what? Before you eat, the thought of lunch makes you feel what? Hungry. We all agree, right? Lunch, what time was lunch? What happened when it was 12 o'clock? Bell rang, and you do what when it was 12 o'clock? Ate lunch. We all agree, right? Now, you don't even get to get lunch. All you had to do was do what? See that it was what time? And then you started to get what? You've been classically conditioned. You heard the bell ring. It might not have been the right bell. You heard that bell ring, and all of a sudden your stomach was like, "Rrr." And they were like, oh my goodness, wrong time. You like, what? They need to fix these bells in this school. Okay? Because the bell represented to you lunch, classically conditioned. Good? How many of you have been to the dentist before? Okay, if you've never been, let me explain your experience. Not really pleasant, but we go for a reason. What do they do when you get in there? What's that lovely machine they pull out? The drill. Now, you're sitting in there. First time you go in, you're just like, oh, cool equipment. They pull it in your mouth and you like, don't like this. Now you go back for the follow-up. And you hear the sound. What do you start thinking? Oh my gosh. They didn't even touch your teeth. You've been classically conditioned. How many of you ever got shot or blood drawn? Okay. You walk in, first time you had it done, you were a kid, you're like, oh, needles. Okay, see these all the time. They poked you, like, this does not feel good, and you scream. You're now 45, you walk in, they pull out the needle, and you go what? Oh my gosh. They didn't even poke you. You've been classically conditioned.
It's strong. I, one of my cousins was from and there was a boy there that went off the back of his father's motorcycle and snapped his radius, I think, arm was just short. They snapped both of them. Arm was all forked over. Everybody's like, well, they had to get him shot. And his mind completely went off the back. And his arm was laying on the table.
It was the shot.
Completely tore it. And he was like, ah!
The shot.
About the needle,
Yes. You've been classically conditioned by your parents. Okay? They did the look. I don't know how many of y'all had it, but my mama had the look. She never had to say a word. All she had to do was do the look, and you knew, move. Classically conditioned. She didn't have to open her mouth because I was conditioned that this look represented some type of violence, represented pain. She removed the violence and just had the look. Or even when she would just say my name, Cherie. It was like chills just came, pain just felt all over my body, and it was just like tears came. All she said was my name, and it was like classically conditioned.
Especially if they use the first and middle.
If they called my daddy called my name, I knew it was something wrong because he doesn't call me by my name. So when he would say Cherie, I would just start crying. It was just the thought of Cherie, tears would come. Oh, I'm coming down the stairs. I'm just crying. He like, what you crying for? I know something about to go down, and I don't know what's about to happen, but it's involving me and probably something not good. That's all I'm crying for. Now if he said, baby girl, I knew we good. Me and my daddy cool like this. I can come down with a smile. But the minute he said Cherie, if he called me right now, he'd be like, hey, Cherie. I'm probably going to tear up. Like, y'all would be sitting here like, I'll be like, yes, Dad. The tear might come, and I'm going to have to break it down because I've been classically conditioned. Does that make sense? Your partner classically conditioned you. Let them say, you want me to do it? Don't even worry about it. And you sit there for a moment. You want it done? It's good. Don't even worry about it. You're going to start moving and doing something. Why? Because they classically condition you that when they act like they don't care, some repercussions going to come after that for a long period of time. Okay? Got it? You've been classically conditioned with psychology class. Y'all log on and get anxiety. You don't even know what's in the folder. You just see the word psychology, you like, oh, geez. What's she going to make us do? I say test. Final exam, classically conditioned. I just say final exam and some of y'all sweating. You ain't even seen the final exam. It might literally just say, put your name at the top and turn in. You don't even know that. But you already been classically conditioned, final exam, psychology, stress. Yeah, you should know that. That's not going to happen. I thought about trying it one year just to see how many people read directions. Nah.
Really? You actually did that?
Yeah, I thought about it. I was like, I really thought I was going to put, this tells you how twisted I sometimes think. Go to number 1. Go back to number 4. Write your name on line 2. Flip it over 3 times. Write your name on line 15. Turn it in. Just to see how many people read. Most people probably sit there like this. And people probably thinking back like, And I'd be like, you ready to turn it in? No. Let me go look over it another time. Okay. So, but I would just be amused to watch. But, nah. Got classical. Now y'all gonna all be reading at the final exam like, is this the one she did it? No. Hoping and praying. I hope this is the day she felt like it. All right, so we got classical conditioning. Do you understand it? You might feel a little shaky on it. Some of y'all are opening the doors to the bus. Practice it. In that folder, you got a lot of stuff to practice. Practice it till you master it. Okay? Please practice it. Practice it. Practice it. Practice it. Do we agree to practice it? We're going to practice it. Yes, we are, right? All righty. We're going to practice it.
I'm not like 100% sure about. I don't know if you can like give like a definition of what, like unconditional stimulus was like what the real.
I'm so happy you said that. My Vanna White moment. Unconditional stimulus, a stimulus that has the ability to produce a specified response before conditioning begins. I didn't want to give you that example, that definition, because I knew some of y'all like, what? But that is the definition. Unconditional stimulus is a stimulus that can produce a response. That's better? Yeah. Okay. A stimulus that can produce a response.
See, some of us robot definition easier than.
Some do. Some hate definitions. Some hate definitions because my test doesn't help you with a definition. Stimulus that can cause a response. I'm going to tell you the trick to learn how to master my test. Don't learn definitions. Don't learn theories. Learn to explain it and then find the word to describe it. You guys are used to learning definitions. Definitions don't help you with application. So what happens is you know the definition, you could tell me the definition, but it means nothing to you. If you know how to explain it, you can identify the word if you see it. So you might literally say when people go, what's class conditioning? It's like when somebody go like, you know, what's that word when some stimulates something and makes you respond somewhere? What's that word? What's that word? You now have you're telling me what it is. You just don't know the word of it. You can find the word. So when you read the scenario, you're going to know the definition because you know how to explain it. So I'm about to take you from that 3rd grade, 4th grade way of learning. Learn a word, learn a definition. Dictionary, Webster, words, definition, word, definition. But if I ask you some words that you use on a daily basis, you could not tell me what it means. Like the. What does the mean? It's an article. Very good. What's that mean? Look at y'all. How often in a day do you use it? What does it mean? That was a definition. Yeah, well, yeah, it was close. He was close enough. So what does it mean? You gave me a definition. What's the meaning? Right, that's how y'all study. You're great with definition. If I gave y'all a definition test, y'all would ace it. But what does it mean? Somebody would be like, what'd you learn in psychology? Some words. Now you gonna leave psychology like, we learned that these crazy people be doing all these different theories, but you'll learn something, okay? Response is literally how you respond to the stimulus. How do you respond to the stimulus? How do you respond to the stimulus? Conditioned stimulus, what have I associated to the stimulus? What have I associated to the stimulus, or what have I associated to the cause? Yeah. What have I associated to the stimulus, or what have I associated to the cause? It is.
Can you give
It is.
the condition or the unconditioned response?
Is different? Hmm. Good one. Good question. And condition response is how I respond to the association. The way I respond to stimulus. Okay? Kim is dating Sam. They dated for 4 years. Sam made Kim smile. They love Wendy's. It was their favorite restaurant. They just broke up last week. Now when Kim sees Wendy's, she starts to cry. Got it? What's the unconditioned stimulus? What is the unlearned stimulus? What was the original stimulus? Sam. What's the original? That was the original. That's the original cause. How did she originally respond to Sam? We all agree? So my Sam is my what? Unconditioned. And smile is my? We all agree, right? Now, what did I replace Sam with? We all agree? Wendy's is now my what? But what does Wendy's make me do now? Crying is now my? Sometimes it's the same, sometimes it's different. Sometimes it's implied.
So what would be the difference between the unconditional response and the conditional response?
What's the difference?
Yeah.
Depends on the scenario.
Okay.
The biggest difference is no, this is unlearned. This one I taught myself. This is automatic. This is learned. That's the biggest difference. Unconditioned, unlearned, automatic. It stimulates response. This one is learned. Yes? Conditioned stimulus is what I've associated to the original stimulus. An association to the original stimulus.
Yeah, I just, condition stimulus, I want to make those the same.
Exactly. You always know this one right here, I often tell people, nobody had to teach you it. It's just, it caused something to happen. It's instinct. It's automatic. It's instinct. It's natural. It's an urge. Does that help you guys? A lot? Okay, this folder, we're going to push back some of the stuff in here till Wednesday. Okay, so there's going to be some things in. Let's go look what's going to happen. Yes.